So far, Donald Trump has survived absolutely everything these people have thrown at him, including the kitchen sink. They tried absolutely everything from day one, ever since he announced his candidacy to be the Republican nominee for President of the United States. And when I say everything, I mean everything, and he swatted them away like they were flies. And now, I'm sad to say, they've got him, and they were always going to get him in the end. Because these people, and I mean Marxists, communists, socialists, leftists, the Democrats in the US, they were never ever going to allow this man or anyone to put their people first. And that's what Donald Trump did, and this enraged them. There were no wars at all during Trump's time as president, though he did bomb a Syrian airfield, but his hand was forced, and that's the only time the Democrats ever applauded him. I promise you now, folks, if Trump was still in the White House, Putin wouldn't have stepped a foot in the Ukraine. And he seemed to have all the world's despots in line, didn't he? Kim Jong-un, or the Rocket Man, as he called him. He had the guy purring like a kitten, eating out of his hand. The Iranians, they were well behaved. And China, it was like they didn't exist. In fact, the world seemed all right, didn't it? But no, they couldn't have it, could they? These people on the left, they don't want peace, harmony. They don't want borders. They don't want democracy, freedom of speech. So in 2020, they made damn sure that Joe Biden won. And Joe Biden has been an absolute disaster for the United States. He really has. He doesn't know where he is half the time. And to be honest with you, I shouldn't laugh. The guy has a cognitive disorder. But it wouldn't surprise me if the guy wears a nappy under that suit. And he can hardly utter a sentence. And for him to continue as US President would make a mockery of the West, in my opinion. So anyway, Donald Trump last night was convicted. He was pronounced guilty in a very dodgy trial for fixing his business books. Of course, he was always going to be found guilty, even though legal experts said there was no reason to find him guilty, because had it been someone else, anyone else, and if it had gone to a trial, then it would have been a mistrial. But no, they had a partisan judge. They had a jury handpicked from the most liberal parts of New York, which always votes Democrat. And the whole thing stinks. It really does. The people who orchestrated this guilty verdict and conviction, they made damn sure that they were able to bend the system to their will in order to produce this, because they will stop at nothing to stop this guy becoming president once again, because he just plays with their plans, doesn't he? He was absolutely right when he said they're not after him, they're after you. He's just in the way. And now they're going to make sure he's not in the way, because when it comes to the sentencing on the 11th of July this year, they will send him to jail. They will lock him up. They will put him away. They will do anything to stop him. That's how much of a danger the guy is to them, and what they have in store for not just the United States, but the West, if not the whole world. It really is a shameful period in American history when the President of the United States can have his opponent convicted and locked up. And I'm telling you now, if people weren't going to vote for Trump before, they definitely will now. If by some miracle they don't manage to jail him, and he'll still run, he will become the 47th President of the United States. Joe Biden's about as useless running a country as was Robert Mugabe back in Zimbabwe before he popped his clogs. And if by some miracle Donald Trump does become president and they vote him in, then I promise you folks, all these leftists, the socialists, the communists, the Marxists, the Democrats, they will do everything they can to break the United States. They will burn that country to the ground, I promise you. So there we go. What a time to be alive, eh? Blimey. Whatever next. Anyway, I'm Paz49. Thanks for listening, and until the next time, Roger Trout.